Welcome to the Building Abs at Home series. This is Kevin David Rail, Chief Fitness Advisor for Wild Warrior Nutrition. And in this video, as you can see, I have a whole bunch of tools strewn about the floor behind me and even up near the doors as well. I'm going to go through all of these tools that you can utilize from home to help work your abs and build your abs. But before I get there, make sure to like and share this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so yet. Now, a key point I want you to remember is ab training is all about tension and proper technique. We already went through some of that already in some of the previous videos. But a whole other aspect of ab training is you can utilize tools to add resistance to your ab exercises or add more tension in various positions. And that is what I'm going to focus this video on. I'm going to show you some of these tools and give you quick demos on how you can utilize them in your ab training practice at home. And as you can see, you don't need a ton of space either. I've got all these tools thrown about all over the place, and I've got about maybe 6 feet here by about 12 feet here, and that's all I have, and that's all you need. So never think that you need to have a full entire feature-length gym at home to do ab training. You just need a space big enough to move your body around a little bit. Okay, now let's get down to the fun part, the actual tools. I'm not going to talk about these in any particular order. I'm just going to start grabbing them, and I'm going to start showing you how to use them and tell you how I like to use them and tell you a couple exercises that you can do with each one. Let's start with this tool right here. A very popular tool known as a stability ball. Now this actually belongs to my girlfriend Jen, and it's a little small for me. When you're using a stability ball, you want to make sure you have the right size. First things first. Let's go over that. When you sit on the ball, you should have about a 90-degree bend in your knees, and your thighs should be about parallel to the ground. And as you can see, my thighs are coming down at an angle. This is not the right size ball for me. My ball is in here deflated. I just have it set aside so we have space for company when they come, and we can set up a bed in here. I stole this from Jen's workout dojo upstairs to do this video. So just know that this ball is not the right size for me. And if you're getting a stability ball for home, make sure that it's more like this. Your thighs are parallel to the ground when you sit on the ball. I think this is 55 centimeters. The ideal ball for me is 65 to 75 centimeters. I'm about 6'3". And when you buy a ball, it'll tell you all the size dimensions and stuff like that. If you go to Amazon or if you go to a sporting goods store, whoever has balls, and it's going to tell you what size ball you need for your height. So make sure you take that into consideration because I want you to be safe when you're using it. Now, an easy exercise on the stability ball, you just simply do a crunch. You come down like this, you put your hands on the side of your head, you roll back like this so your head and shoulders are off the ball, and you do crunches just like this. Now, I don't particularly like crunches. I think they're boring and they're often done incorrectly, especially in the gym atmosphere. I see a lot of people doing them really badly, but I also see people doing them wrongly on a stability ball. And what I see is this, rolling back and forth. And I hear this rubber noise sound going back and forth like this. And not only do they look ridiculous, but they're doing zero work for their abs. Remember, ab training is slow, controlled tension. So if you're just rolling back and forth like this, you're basically doing nothing for your abs. There's a little bit of tension there, but not a lot. You want to go nice and slow and controlled. Keep your gaze fixed up at an angle like this. Squeeze, hold at the top for a second. Come down. Don't be in such a rush. Don't think you need to do like 50 reps of anything. 10 slow and controlled reps of crunches on a stability ball is really good quality work. I can feel my abs engaged the whole time doing these. Big inhale here, exhale. So that right there is one drill you can do on this ball. You can also do what's called the long lever crunch, which I absolutely love, by putting your arms behind your back like this, and you put your feet against the wall for more stability, and you just simply do this, keeping your arms in line with your ears. This is a high amount of ab tension right here. And because your arms are overhead, you are really putting a lot more attention on your abs. And that leads me to another tool we have, which is called the dumbbell, this right here. You can hold on to a dumbbell for more weight while you're doing long lever crunches, if you need to. And this is only 5 pounds. And I'm going to come back to these dumbbells in a bit. But just know you can do this drill like this, and then you can have any weight you want in your hands and do that drill, long lever crunch. Then you can turn around with your stability ball and do what's called a knee tuck. So you come into a plank like this, and you can put your toes on it, or your shins, or your knees, and you roll the ball in. Just like that. Then you can do a pike, which is this. And then you can do alternating hip raises like this, hip extensions. And then you can put it all together. You can do this, you can do this, and you can do this. And then once you do a set of those, you can turn right back around, sit back on your ball, go right back into your long lever crunches again. Holy mackerel, my abs are on fire right now. So you see where I'm getting at with this? And then you can also do side crunches on the stability ball. You can do back extension twists. There's a whole bunch of things you can do on a stability ball alone. And if you had no other equipment and just this, you can easily build a whole entire workout. So that is my first tool, the stability ball. Okay, what do we got next? I'm gonna roll this out of frame. Since I talked about the dumbbells, let's get those out of the way. These you wouldn't think of as tools necessarily for ab training, but they absolutely can be. And I just showed you one application of them. You can get on that stability ball and hold the dumbbell overhead and do crunches with it. But if you don't have a stability ball and you just have dumbbells, you can just lie on your back and do basically the same thing. You can do a long lever crunch like this, using this for resistance. You can pull it over your body like this and do a sit-up with it. You can grab two at a time and hold them behind you and pull up like this. And then you can bring them in together and do Russian twists. You can sit up like this and twist. So then we're hitting the obliques and then extending back. And we're hitting the rectus abdominis, which is the front part of the abs. And you can do that kind of thing. Then you can do other fun stuff like chops, where you hold on to one dumbbell like this and you chop it down like this from side to side at an angle. So when you go like this, you're engaging your abs. You can keep it in a position you want with your hands. You just double grip it and then you can switch sides like that. And then you can do circles with it like this. This is all ab work. When your arms are straight like this and you're moving this dumbbell around, you're getting a lot of contraction right here. Then you can do dumbbell double windmills. So you can hold one above your head like this, and you can lower yourself down and come up like this. Now, this can be a double exercise where it's basically working your shoulders too and your inner thighs, but you're also getting a high amount of ab recruitment, especially in your oblique area. So you can do stuff like that. So the dumbbells make great tools for your home ab workouts as well, in all those different positions I just taught you. And there's also things that you might even come up with on your own. But just remember that you can utilize these for the resistance and you can move them through a range of motion like this to get more core engagement. So dumbbells are great tools for home ab training. Okay, let's move on. Let's grab this sucker. This, my friends, is called the medicine ball. Little known fact, the medicine ball was invented by Hippocrates hundreds of thousands of years ago when he used to try to rehab people who came to him that were sick and ill. He would make these, I don't know if they were animal bladders, I believe. He would stuff them with rocks and stones and all these different things in sand, and then he would sew them together, and they were oblong shaped. They weren't perfectly round like this. And he would have these people do all kinds of exercises with them to help try to build their strength back up. That's how the word medicine ball came around. That's the short version. Anyway, this is also a phenomenal tool to use for resistance. And you can do the same thing I just showed you. You can lie on your back, roll back into a pullover position, do Russian twists with them. You can stand like this and do side twists like this, also known as washing machines, really quick and effectively. You can move it around like this in different positions in space. You can do the same thing I did before. You can do circles. You can do side chops like this. You can bring your leg around, kind of work the upper body and lower body. All this stuff is engaging the core. It's engaging the abs, okay? The medicine ball is a great tool. Then you can do slams with it. You can bring it overhead like this, slam it on the ground, and right here, you forcefully contract your abs. Just like that. This pairs well with the stability ball as well. So you can lie on the stability ball and hold this overhead and do crunches and sit-ups with it, and twists and Russian twists and all those other exercises that I was mentioning before. So the medicine ball is very versatile, and you can use it in many applications when it comes to working out, when it comes to working your abs at home. And if you don't have a medicine ball, that's okay. Go to your local 5 and Dime Mart or your local, I don't know, Sinclair gas station and buy one of these things for 39 cents. Or you can go to Walmart and buy one. It's called the water jug. This is a gallon. Guess what? It's 8 pounds. 8 pounds of resistance. If you don't have a medicine ball, you can hold this thing and do all your circles and your chops and your rotations and all these different things. You can even do windmills with it like this and come down and come up. And guess what? You're working your abs. No excuses. Remember that. You can also get a towel and weave it through here and then hold it like this and do windmills and then do swings with it and different types of exercises and stuff that's in motion. So a towel works really well in conjunction with this, and then you can get 2 jugs and weave it through and have 2 for extra resistance. Either this or the medicine ball, they kind of double the same way, And if you don't have a medicine ball, you don't want to pay for one, you can easily buy one of these for $1 or less. So the water jug works great in all applications of ab training at home. All right, medicine ball done, water jug done. And if you can tell, I'm a pretty high intensity guy. Energized. Let's stick with the resistance tools and one of my best friends known as the kettlebell right here. Kettlebell can be used much like the dumbbells and the medicine ball for resistance of its own. So let's go back to that pullover drill. I keep coming back to it because it's an easy explanation. If you want something a little heavier, this is 12 kilo, which is actually about 26 pounds. You can do pullovers with it, pullover sit-ups, just like this. But then you can also do alternating knee pull-ins, like this, pull up, pulling it in like that, and extending it overhead. So you have this extra weight, and then you can do your Russian twist, go up to a seated position, twist from side to side. But then you've got really cool exercises like the Turkish get-up, which I'm just going to do one quick one right here, where we lift it up in the air like this. Already, your abs are engaged. Then you come to here, and then you stand all the way up. And again, I'm not using a ton of space. I have just enough room to get my arm up here. My abs are engaged the whole time I'm doing this exercise. And then you come down, kick this leg back through, sit right back down, watch there's nothing around you. And then you can swing it over to this side, come up on this side, and go back and forth, back and forth. And if that was the only workout you did, and you did 10 Turkish get-ups per side, you're gonna get a massive amount of ab work just by using this tool alone. But it gets even better. You can use the kettlebell for windmills, like I just showed you before. This drill right here, windmills. And if you have heavier load, these are really gonna start creating a ton of tension on your abs. Then you can do ballistic exercises, like the snatch, right here. So every time you go up in the air here, you need to engage your abs really tightly to do this exercise. So you can do fun combinations with the kettlebell, such as doing Turkish get-ups, and then you can lie on your back and do pullover crunches or Russian twists. Then you can stand up and do snatches. So you can put this complex together and then repeat that multiple times. That's why I love the kettlebells so much, because they're so versatile and they burn a ton of calories too. So they're gonna also help you melt fat very efficiently while still building your abs, and they're gonna target all these other muscles as well. It's a win-win situation. So I highly encourage kettlebells for your home ab workout training protocols. Let's go back to another home device that I know you either have already or you can easily get for cents on the dollar. These babies, paper plates. These are fantastic for working your abs because you can put your hands on them or you can put your feet on them. So I'll just show you a quick example of what I'm talking about. If you have a rug like this, you can put your hands on the plates and you can start in a position like this and you can just roll them out like this, back and forth. Now you can say, yes, this is a chest exercise to a degree, but you got to really keep your abs tight when you're doing this, sliding back and forth. And you can do 2 at a time. It would be similar to like an ab wheel type drill. And you can go out as far as you want and come back in. And you go side to side with them. And then you can put your feet on the plates. They're making a lot of crackling noises, I know. It's because they're plastic, actually. Doesn't matter if they're plastic or paper, as long as they slide on a rug. That's the only thing that matters. Got a hair on my face. So then you can put your feet on, and you can do things like this. Knee tucks. And then you can do pikes. And then you can slide them out, in, up, out, in, knees in. You can draw circles like this, back and forth. You can put one hand on one plate and one foot on the other and do things like this. You can lift this leg off the ground and do this and do really extremely hard exercises. You get where I'm going with this. Your creativity is really the only thing you have to think about when it comes to utilizing paper plates. But just know, these are cheap, they're easy to use. You need use them on a rug surface, and you can get a lot of ab work done with paper plates by themselves. Let's move along. I think I'll go to my BOSU next. This is probably one of my top 5 favorite pieces of fitness equipment in the whole world, especially for abs. A lot of people look down on the BOSU and they say it's nonsense, it's garbage, it's trashy. It doesn't help you build overall strength. You shouldn't be doing heavy exercises on it. And I've seen people make fun of it and throw it like a disc and say it's good as a frisbee, and they made fun of it. And yes, That's absolutely true. This tool is not meant to build absolute raw strength, and you're not supposed to be doing heavy dumbbell and heavy barbell work on it. And anyone who does that is a damn fool, in my opinion. What it is designed for is high intensity core and interval training exercises and ab exercises. And it by itself weighs 15 pounds. And anything you can do in the stability ball, you can do pretty much anything from a supine position as well. For example, you can just do your crunches on here, just like this, with either your knees like this, bent, or your legs straight. And then you can do your long lever crunches. But these are the simple, boring exercises on the Bosu. You can do a lot of fun things. You can do stuff on your forearms like this. You can come here and do mountain climbers. You can do them on your hands. You can flip the Bosu over and do mountain climbers. Now it becomes more unstable. And then you can twist it side to side like this. And then you can spin it and do push-ups, which work your chest and your abs. And then you can do Spider-Mans like this, twisting it back and forth. All these unstable things that you do on the Bosu contribute to a high amount of tension on your abs. And remember from my past videos, ab training is all about tension, creating that masterful tension. But the cool thing about this is you can do the mountain climbers from this position, and then you can pop in the air and lift it above your head and do an overhead squat. Lower it back down, kick your legs back, repeat multiple times. It's really good for the application of circuits and high intensity interval training as well. And something else I like to do with the Bosu, if I didn't mention it already, I think I did, it weighs 15 pounds. This comes with automatic resistance. So we can take it and do things like this, spin it over our head, and then we can chop to the side. I'm out of breath, yes. And go this way, and go this way. So when you're doing this, your abs are being engaged the whole entire time. Just like that. And then you can do chops with it as well, like we did before, like I showed you with that other drill with the medicine ball and the dumbbells. You can draw circles in the air. You can do it things like this where you put your feet on it and kick your legs out to the sides. Hold on. Okay. So you can do stuff like that, and you can sit on it, go into a crunch, come right back and do what I call a pendulum plank right there. So you can do that with your feet on or your hands on. So as you can see, the Bosu has a ton of practical application. That's why I love it for a home piece of equipment. And you can do just a million ab exercises on it and get your heart rate up and burn a lot of calories and fat at the same time. So that is definitely one of my top fitness tools for home ab workouts. Let's move right along to some of these other things I have behind me here. I'm just gonna move this back out of the way. This right here, TRX suspension trainer. Over here on the floor is a TRX rip trainer, which is the secondary accessory product to this right here. I absolutely love this thing. As you know, this is a body weight operated apparatus, and a lot of people use them for upper body exercises and a little bit of lower body too. But there are a bunch of ab related exercises you can do with the TRX as well, which I'm going to get to in a second. But before I get there, I want to show you exactly how this and that are connected to the doors. Now, you can hook one of these up to a pull-up bar and just loop one of these top straps over top of it, and then by carabiner clip, you can just snap it into place and it's right above you. If you don't have access to a pull-up bar at home, then you can utilize a door like this. If you have access to a tree outside with a strong branch, you can wrap it around a tree branch or a tree trunk or something along those lines. And a lot of people do that. But if you live in a climate where winter rolls around every year and you have snow and cold temperatures, you're not going to want to be exercising outside. You're going to have to go into something like this, and you want to hook it up to a door. And it's hooked up to a door by this type of apparatus here. This is the anchor. So this is like a hard ball on this side, and it's a flat, I don't know what this is, some kind of, it's not neoprene, but it's some kind of strong material. So what you do is you slide it through the top of the door and you close it with this part on the inside, and then you take the carabiner and you just clip it right in there, and then you're good to go. You always want to put this on the hinge side of the door because it's stronger over there. And ideally, it's on the side of the door, like this one is correct, that one is not correct. So this door opens this way, and I have the anchor on the other side here. So if it pulls this way, there's no way that door is going to open. You want to have it set up like this. I have no choice but to go the other way on that door over there because it opens inward. But just know you want to have it so whatever direction the door is closing, you want this part on the inside of the room. At the very least, you want to have your anchor where the hinge side is, because that's stronger over there and it'll have less propensity for the door to actually open when you're doing exercises. All that being said, I just wanted to show you how to set it up. Now, as far as exercises go, the TRX itself, you can do, from a standing position, you can do stuff like this, like a side chop. So right here, you have to really engage your abs when you're doing this. And you want to do it in a slow and controlled motion. That's one example right there. So I'm really feeling my obliques and the rest of my abs kicking in. Then you can turn around and hold these above your head, like so, in front of you. And then you're simply going to come forward like this and put your head in between your arms and push back up. This would be the equivalent of what's called a pullover, but from a standing position. And then you do things like roll yourself out like this and then tuck your knees in and then push back down. And you can kind of go in any direction that you want. You can do like a fly this way and then hold and then do this, because you're still going to be engaging your abs the whole entire way. And then you can do like motions like this, circles. Holding your body in one position and just doing this. It takes an incredible amount of ab tension to hold this drill. You can also reduce this down to your knees and do the pullover. You want to come back tighter. If it's too hard from a standing position. So you can do it this way. And you can adjust your straps right here to bring them lower, just like that. See? Ab work right here. Abs all the way. Squeeze those abs tightly. And then you can pull these back up a bit and hook your feet into the straps. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way so you can see me. Okay. Actually, I want them up a little higher. Whoa, that was loud. These you want up a little bit, about knee high. And then you hook your feet in to the straps. Make sure they're off the ground. Come into a plank position, and then you can do this. Knee tucks. You can go at an angle like this. You can do pikes. You can do abduction, knee pull-ins. So there's a lot of combinations you can do here with the TRX. This is a great tool for full body, functional strength, and, just like I showed you, ab workouts as well. Now, the second tool of the TRX company is this one right here, which is called the Rip Trainer. This happens to be one of my favorite tools out there in the marketplace today. It is based on unilateral tension, which means there's tension on one side of the body. And when you hear that, that is good news. That is great news, because you need to steady your body through a range of motion with tension pulling you on one side, which translates to a ton of ab recruitment all around the whole area of the core. Now, a simple exercise could be a rotation. So you can hold it like this with your arms bent or your arms straight. The further out you have the tool, the harder the drill is going to be. But for demonstrative sake, I'll do both. If you hold it in tight like this, you can simply just do a rotation. I'm going to back up a little. What you want to do is you don't want slack in the line like this. You want to pull all that slack out to start. Now right here, I took all the slack out. I already feel a slight bit of ab engagement before I even begin. That is good. That's how you want to start the drill. And then you simply just do a rotation like this. And you can go as slow or fast as you'd like. But again, the slower you go, the more tension you're going to get on your abs. Then you can extend your arms out fully like this. And now I just increased the tension on my abs. I already feel it. And from this position, you can do rotations. And I'm rotating right toward the hustle sign right there. And then you can do them fast if you want. You can do them ballistic, it's called. Or you can do them slow and controlled. And then you can do a combination of fast and slow. And then you can do things like downward rows like this, still contributing a little bit to the abs. You can do pitchforks, where you lift it up above your head like this. Little bend in the knees. So every time you come up here, you're feeling a huge amount of contraction in your abs and your whole entire core. And you can just come up with hundreds of different patterns with this TRX Rip Trainer. So I absolutely love this thing. And you can easily, quickly go from one exercise to the next. And once again, build a nice little circuit where you're doing a high amount of calorie expenditure, plus you're doing ab work all at the same exact time. TRX Rip Trainer, that's what that is. Since we're talking about spins and turns, let's go and address this right here. I'm going to grab this one. Resistance bands. These are commonly used in the world of ab training for various purposes and reasons. But one of the big exercises is chops. And they come in different strength levels. And the way it works with these is the lighter the color, the lighter the resistance. And you'll also notice the lighter the color, the thinner the band is too. So that's a blue one. That's a pretty thick one. The green one's pretty thin, so you know it's lighter. Then you have this orange one that's pretty thick and this red one that's somewhere in the middle. So by looking at these just quickly, I would say green, red, orange, blue would be the order in which these would be from least to most resistance. Maybe it would be orange last. And they often come with, let's see, where's one that I can give you an example. It has the amount of weight that they represent on the end. It's listed. I know it's here somewhere. Where is it? There's one. Okay, so see that? It says 40 on it. That would be 40 pounds, the equivalent of 40 pounds of resistance. This green one is 20. This red one is 30. So you can sit there and choose, let's see, which one do I want? I want to do side chops. I'm going to need something that's relatively light. So I'm going to choose this green one. And then you can drop them down. And now we go over to our anchor over here, which we have preset already from our rip trainer. And we slide it through. And these anchors are universal. You can use them with resistance bands. You can use them with the TRX rip trainer. You can use them with a suspension trainer too, but it would have to be up higher. Okay, so one of the popular exercises with resistance bands are chops or rotations. So you hold it like this and you simply chop to one side of the body or the other side, or you can go back and forth like this, which I like to do. And then you can come down at an angle like this, low chops. And then if this was down at a low angle, you can chop it up like this and do high chops. And you can even do it right here too, to a certain degree. And all of this requires a high amount of ab tension right here. But it gets even better. You can take this, let's see if I can pull it off over here, and hook it to a high anchor. I'm just going to wrap it around what we have here. I should hold it. And then you can put two handles on. And this set of resistance bands I have these convenient carabiner clips on them. See that? And they have a whole bunch of different resistances you can choose from, as you saw. I like these the best because they're adjustable, but you could get them where they're all independent. But I've seen over the years that most resistance band companies all have this option available now, and that's mostly the ones you're going to see out there instead of the one-offs. Just makes it more convenient. So you can put them on like this, and you would want a heavier resistance here, but you can hold them here, and you can do crunches. Or you can just hold them right over your head like this, over your shoulders, and you got resistance here. So you're doing a crunch from a kneeling position instead of a lying position, which is very awesome. And then you can stage a couple of these up and have one over there and one up here, have a heavier one here and a light one there, and you can come and do chops 3 or 4 different ways, and then you can grab these and go right into your crunches, and you can bounce back and forth. So then you have a nice little smorgasbord of options to choose from with your resistance bands. Okay, there you have it. That is your tutorial on home tools that you can use to work your abs, both fitness tools and household items. Remember, it's all about the tension, correct form, and consistency. You're starting to get to a point now where you have zero excuses for building abs at home. So far, we've addressed time under tension, we've addressed sprints and burning fat, we've addressed correct form and proper form, and now we just talked about tools you can use. We're almost there. We have a couple more videos to go, and I have a couple more things to address. So make sure to stay tuned for the next installment of the ab workout series from home. In the meantime, this is Kevin David Rail, Chief Fitness Advisor for Why Warrior Nutrition. Make sure to like and share this video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so yet, and drop us a comment and let us know how you're making out. And also let us know if you have any questions about anything we've been covering so far. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Or should I say,